Back to Talk of Alabama. We've got Rebecca Gordon in our kitchen this morning, and today she's showing us how to make our very own handcrafted cheese. So good morning to you, Rebecca.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
I'm glad you're here. You know, I got to tell you a quick funny story. I tried to do this a couple years ago. So I go to the store, I rip out the recipe, not yours, but just a recipe from a magazine. And I go to the store and I buy all the ingredients. And I get home and I'm halfway through it and I realize that I don't have any cheesecloth.
Oh, okay. Well, we have cheesecloth today, and we are going to use that.
This is what it looks like. So it kind of looks like gauze.
It does.
So I was making goat cheese, I should mention, and guess what? So I'm halfway through it, and at that time, I think I had 2 small babies at home instead of 3, and I was like, what do I do? And so I used a kitchen towel. Disaster.
Oh, no!
There's a reason you should use this stuff.
Yes.
So I tried to use a towel like this, and it was just a nightmare. The cheese was horrible, and I ended up throwing it out. And I learned, if you're going to make a recipe, read it first to know that you've got all the proper equipment.
You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. And you know, we're starting with 1 quart of fresh milk today. And milk is a great source of calcium and protein. So it's not only great for our summer party, but it's very good for you too.
Good.
So we've got a quart of milk, and you want to heat that up to about 180 degrees. You can use a candy thermometer and attach that to the side if you'd like. Or if you know, it'll get real steamy, and if you hit that temperature and it does come to a boil, just be close, because it'll start to bubble up out of the pot. So you just want to be able to catch that.
Now,
if
this
that
is
happens.
what you've got in here. Does it matter? Let me turn it so our viewers can see it, kind of what it looks like. Does it matter if it's whole milk or if it's 2%?
You can do a 2% or a low-fat milk. It works just as well. The main thing to remember when you're making farmer's cheese, like we are today, which is a fresh cheese, you don't want to use ultra-pasteurized milk. It's okay to use homogenized pasteurized, but the ultra-pasteurized will not allow the acid to coagulate the milk.
And where would that be on the milk container?
It is right on the side of the container, right under here. But it'll say pasteurized, homogenized. If it's ultra-pasteurized, it will say so.
It says pasteurized, homogenized. So
homogenized.
Homogenized.
Yeah.
Homogenized.
Yes.
Is I saying that right?
Yes, you're saying that right.
Homogenized.
Right.
Okay, so we should be looking for homogenized milk and pasteurized, but not
ultra-pasteurized.
Ultra.
Correct.
I'm going to take notes. See, this is why I don't make cheese at home, just for this reason.
Well, it's super easy, and I've added a little bit of salt in there, and then I'm adding 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. The main thing here is that you're going to use an acid of some sort, and that is what's going to separate the curds from the whey. And so I like to add it a little bit at a time. And what you'll notice when you start moving your spatula back and forth, it's going to start to separate. It'll start to kind of clump up. And that is exactly what you want it to do. And I'm going to keep adding this lemon juice in there.
So you're adding the curds?
We're adding the acid.
The acids, which separates.
Right, which separates the curds from the whey. Curds and whey, just like the nursery rhyme.
I was going to say, I feel like I'm straight up doing a nursery. So what exactly, this sounds like a dumb question, I'm well aware, but what is the whey?
The whey is actually a protein that comes off of the casein. The casein is the curds, and the whey is this liquid right here. And this is a byproduct when you make cheese. And you can do lots of things with this. You can save this, and you can make waffles with it. You can put it into bread, and you can put it into pancakes. You can do lots of great things with it. And it's, you know, if you're a gymaholic, it's got protein in it, so it's a good thing to use.
What does it taste like?
Well, it's got a little bit of a sour flavor, but
Let me taste it.
Okay,
can I taste it?
Yeah, are you sure you want to taste? Are you sure?
I don't know. I don't know.
If you, why don't you smell it?
Okay.
I don't know if you want to taste it though.
Ooh.
Okay, so I'm adding.
Does not smell good, Rebecca.
It's fine. It's fine. Think of it like in the terms of buttermilk. It's fine. Okay, so I'm adding this in here. Let's go ahead and add the rest of that in. And then once this sits, this is going to separate even further. It's fun.
Yeah, it doesn't taste bad at all.
Yeah, it's good. And see how that's already starting to separate?
So when you say, it kind of reminds me like it's looking like cottage cheese when you say curd.
Right, and this is a lot like a ricotta.
Yes.
If you press a lot of the way out of this mixture right here, which I already have some in the bowl here, we put it in our cheesecloth, and you can simply gather that up, and you can squeeze as much of that whey out as possible into the bowl. And it can be more of a ricotta consistency and spreading like we're going to use for our Crostini bar, or it can be more of a crumbling cheese that can be sprinkled over different salads.
So basically,
and
once
foods.
this is done, you pour it into here. I want to just clarify. You've got a measuring cup here. She has a
the cheesecloth and a wire sieve.
A little sieve, and then she pours it in there, and then squeezes it. So essentially, this stuff, the whey, drains out, and she's left with this, which is the cheese or the curd.
Right. And then if you want to flavor it, you can go ahead and add some lemon zest, some fresh dill, and some garlic, and then you're kind of good to go.
And it looks like this once you add the flavoring to it, which is again the lemon zest, the fresh dill, etc. Okay, Rebecca, we're going to keep cooking with you. I have learned so much in this segment. Did you all know this much about cheese and cheese making? I guess you're the only one. I'm glad you're here to teach us, Rebecca.
Yes, exactly.
Still to come, all the details on an upcoming quilt show at the Pell City Civic Center. You're watching ABC 3340. We are back in a moment.